We all know Project Zomboid is an amazing sandbox game by default, but have you ever wanted to spice things up a bit? How about playing a bit in the sand and trying to survive your favorite TV show zombie apocalypse? Well, today I created a short list of sandbox settings and community workshop mods that can turn your classic Zomboid world into something completely different and enjoyable. Starting out with one of the zombie genre's classics and one of my favorites on the list, The Walking Dead focuses on more slow pace, easy to kill, but numerous infected. As we can see in the series, zombies are reanimated people infected with the wildfire virus, which takes control of the host's brain once they are dead. Now here's the sandbox settings I would use. I would set the zombie count to high or very high, since in the show, the human to walker ratio is believed to be 5,000 to 1. You can go extreme and set it to insane, but that's probably not going to be enjoyable at all in my opinion. Speed is set to shamblers, because obviously the walkers are really slow in the series. Strength is set to normal, simply because walkers tend to be really different in the show overall, but since they can rip you apart easily, it makes sense not to set them to weak. The resistance is going to be set on fragile, simply because they are rotting corpses with skulls somehow made out of glass jars. Transmission is set to everyone's infected, since every person has the virus inside their bodies, and no matter how you die, you are going to turn into a walker if your brain remains intact. Infection mortality is set to 3 days. Reanimate time is 0 to 12 hours, since some of the dead such as Shane turn in as little as a few minutes, while others probably need a little more time. Cognition is set to basic navigation, random door opening obviously to none, although some of the zombies were able to open doors in the beginning of the show. Crawl under vehicle is a bit confusing, but I'll go with crawlers only, since we rarely see walkers being smart enough to reach under vehicles, probably just in season 1 when they are smarter overall. Their memory is short, their sight is poor, and their hearing is normal. They're dead after all, so makes sense to me to set this lower. And the rest, crawlers drag down is set on yes, since the zombies in the show can grab and toss you around for others to feed on you. Now for the last settings, I like the rally group size to max, so zombies can form huge hordes just like in the show, and the rest is obviously up to you. Now some mods that can further help with your experience are Hordes Alpha, which adds different moving hordes around the map. Keep in mind this is alpha, so it might create issues to your game. The Scent of Blood, which makes zombies attracted to blood around the map, similar to the show system. Camouflage, The Walking Dead expanded, which allows you to use zombie guts as camouflage, just like characters do in the show to mask their real identity around zombies. Walker Shamblers, The Walking Dead, which mimics the slow moving zombies and keeps their pace the same no matter how close they are to you. Whisperer Mask, which adds another camouflage method just like we see in the show's Whisperers group. And lastly, the Crash Car mod, which brings even more immersion to the gameplay by mimicking The Walking Dead's abandoned vehicles on the streets. Now you go with 10 years later repack mod to make your game look just like in the present The Walking Dead, obviously if that's what you wish for. Keep in mind some of the mods are either abandoned or old, so it might not work on the game's latest beta. Moving on to the next show, 28 Days Later is the first movie I ever watched which introduced fast-paced infected. Now unlike The Walking Dead, in 28 Days Later these zombies are technically alive people infected with the rage virus, which makes them super aggressive and hostile. Now even if not technically dead zombies, we can still recreate them in the sandbox settings of Project Zomboid like this. Speed obviously grows on sprinters, since every single zombie feels like a deadly marathon runner in the show. Strength is set to superhuman, since the rage virus doesn't care if they break a limb trying to open a door in order to bite you. Toughness can be set either to normal or fragile, since they are alive humans which can die by a single hard blow to a vital organ. Transmission is blood plus saliva, since blood is also known to infect characters in the movie. Infection, mortality, and reanimation are almost instant. Once you are bit or a bit of blood touches you, you have no time to say your goodbyes. Cognition to navigate, since they are a little more intelligent than walkers. They can't open doors, only legless zombies tend to crawl under vehicles. Their memory, sight, and hearing are set at max, since again they are alive people desperate to kill. And drag down is set on off. Now for the multipliers. The virus was at its peak pretty quickly because of the rapid infection, so we'll set peak day to 1 and rally group size to 0, but you're always free to play with these settings as you wish. And I just realized the infected were mostly active during the night, so set this to the night option for the best experience. For mods, there's not much I could find for B42, but feel free to recommend any in the comments if you know. Now since Resident Evil 9 just released a few weeks ago, it is worth mentioning its T-Virus zombies as well. Here, infected probably take the wildest turn from fragile walking corpses to superhuman, tough as a rock, almost chemical killing machines. We all know a single zombie requires Leon to use like 20 bullets for it to die, so here's how we can recreate that in the Zomboid settings. Speed is set on Shamblers since they tend to be super slow in the video game series, Strength to Superhuman since the T-Virus literally makes them as strong as a tank, Toughness to Tough so a single pistol headshot becomes literally useless. Now for transmission, if you're a protagonist with plot armor, you can set it to none, or simply bites only for an average dude. Mortality 2 to 3 days, though I'm not sure how long it actually takes, correct me in the comments. Reanimation is almost instant, basic navigation, they can't open doors, only crawlers can go under vehicles, their memory is normal-ish, their sight is poor, just like their hearing, like crouching seems to eliminate you from the world entirely, and hearing is kept on poor, they literally can't hear a rifle shot from the other room. For population multiplier, you can go on high, though after the airstrikes it was probably a lot lower, so it depends which version of the lore you want to go for, and rarely group size to 0 since we never see them in hordes throughout the game. For mods, you can go with Resident Evil voices for those classic PS1 character voice lines, Resident Evil 2 Zombies, which adds the classic zombie models to the game, or the Nemesis mod, which, well, it literally turns you into the Nemesis itself, and the Antibodies mod, if you want to become an immune plot armor Chad. Again, keep in mind some of these mods are build 41 only, so you might have to ditch the latest versions. Moving to another great zombie movie, Train to Busan focuses again on the sprinting, careless infected similar to 28 Days Later. Now this movie has a few differences, and that's why I wanted to add it as well. Here's the settings. Speed obviously goes on sprinters, and even faster sprinters if possible. Strength to normal, they're still human after all. Toughness to fragile, again, they don't need a brain hit necessarily to die. Saliva only for transmission, not sure about scratches though. Infection, mortality, and reanimation are almost instant, since the characters turn in a matter of seconds after being bitten. Basic navigation feels fine here. They can't open doors, usually just mash themselves in groups against objects before they break. We don't see them crawling under vehicles at all in the movie. Their memory is pretty short, their sight is really good, and once they see you, you better run. And their hearing tends to be pretty low, though normal feels alright here as well. It's your call. The most important part is setting them to be active only during the day. In the movie, we see them going completely blind while trains pass dark tunnels, so this is probably the most important one. For mods, you can simply use Korean maps if you like. This is pretty much all I could find for this video. Obviously, there's a lot more shows, but the zombies tend to be really similar to each other. Again, remember to correct me in the comments if any of the info in here is incorrect, or if you have any personal way of recreating this apocalypse yourself. Thanks for your time and have a great one.